It must be said, like the breaking of a great dam, the American descent into Marxism is happening with breathtaking speed, against the backdrop of a passive, hapless sheeple. Excuse me, dear reader, I meant people. True, the situation has been well prepared on and off for the past century, especially the past 20 years. The initial testing grounds was conducted upon our holy Russia, and a bloody test it was. But we Russians would not just roll over and give up our freedoms and our souls, no matter how much money Wall Street poured into the fists of the Marxists. Those lessons were taken and used to properly prepare the American populace for the surrender of their freedoms and souls to the whims of their elites and betters. First, the population was dumbed down through a politicized and substandard education system based on pop culture rather than the classics. Americans know more about their favorite TV dramas than the drama in D.C. that directly affects their lives. They care more for their right to choke down a McDonald's burger or a Burger King burger than for their own constitutional rights. Then they turn around and lecture us about our rights and about our democracy. Pride blind the foolish. Then their faith in God was destroyed, until their churches, all tens of thousands of different branches and denominations, were for the most part little more than Sunday circuses, and their televangelists and top Protestant mega preachers were more than happy to sell out their souls and flocks to be on the winning side of the pseudo-Marxist politician or another. Their flocks may complain, but when explained that they would be on the winning side, their flocks were ever so quick to reject Christ in hopes for earthly power. Even our holy Orthodox churches were scandalously liberalized in America. The final collapse has come with the election of Barack Obama. His speed in the past 3 months has been truly impressive. His spending and money printing has been a record-setting not just in America's short history but in the history of the world. If this keeps up for more than another year, and there is no sign that it will not, America at best will resemble the Weimar Republic and at worst Zimbabwe. These past 2 weeks have been the most breathtaking of all. First came the announcement of the planned redesign of the American Byzantine tax system by the very thieves who use it to bankroll their thefts, losses, and swindles of hundreds of billions of dollars. These make our Russian oligarchs look more like ordinary street thugs in comparison. Yes, the Americans have beat our own thieves in the sheer volumes. Should we congratulate them? These men, of course, are not an elected panel, but made up of appointees picked from the very financial oligarchs and their henchmen, who are now gorging themselves on trillions of American dollars in one bailout after another. They are also usurping the rights, duties, and powers of the American Congress, Parliament. Again, Congress has put up little more than a whimper to their masters. Then came Barack Obama's command that GM's, General Motors' president, step down from leadership of his company. That's correct, dear reader. In the land of the, quote, pure, free markets, the American president now has the power, the self-given power, to fire CEOs, and we can assume other employees of private companies at will. Come hither, go dither, the centurion commands his minions. So it should be no surprise that the American president has followed up with a bold move of declaring that he and another group of unelected chosen stooges will now redesign the entire automotive industry and will even be the guarantee of automobile policies. I am sure that if given the chance, they would happily try to redesign it for the whole world too. Prime Minister Putin, less than 2 months ago, warned Obama and UK's Blair not to follow the path to Marxism. It only leads to disaster. Apparently, even though we suffered 70 years of this Western-sponsored horror show, we know nothing as foolish, drunken Russians. So let our wise Anglo-Saxon fools find out the folly of their own pride. Again, the American public has taken this with barely a whimper, but a, quote, free man, unquote, whimper. So should it be any surprise to discover that a democratically controlled Congress of America is working on passing a new regulation that would give the American Treasury Department the power to set fair salaries, evaluate performance, and control how private companies give out pay raises and bonuses. Barney Frank, a social pervert basking in his homosexuality, of course amongst the modern enlightened American societal norm, as well as that of the general West, homosexuality is not only looked upon as a life choice, but is often praised as a virtue, and his Marxist enlightenment has led this effort. He stresses that this only affects companies that would receive government monies, but it is retroactive and taken to a logical extreme. This would include any company or industry that has ever received a tax break or an incentive. The Russian owners of American companies and industries should look thoughtfully at this, and the option of closing their facilities down and fleeing the land of the red as fast as possible. In other words, divest while there is still value left. The proud American will go down into his slavery without a fight, beating his chest and proclaiming to the world how free he really is. The world will only snicker. This article has been read as written with the kind permission from the author, Stanislav Mishin, and his blog, Matt Rodina, with only slight adjustments for the conversion interpretation from Russian to English. This entire article can be seen by the following link that is shown at the end of the video.